does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! We're back again today for another very special list, one of my favorite lists every year. I'm here with two of my best friends, Brandon Haynes.
Whole wide world, what's up?
And Eric Baca.
Hello, hello.
And right now we're about to do our top 10 most anticipated games of Gencon 2018, thanks in part to our amazing sponsors, Tasty Minstrel Games, who sponsors everything we do, and Minion Games, who sponsored us this year. Also, give a shout out to all these amazing companies right here who donated games to help send us to Gen Con. But we're going to be going over each of our top 10 games that will be releasing at Gen Con or have released recently, or they're going to be demoing at Gen Con. We're going to talk more about that as we progress. So, starting off, let's go through some honorable mentions. You got any honorable mentions over there?
I do, yeah. My first honorable mention is to the makers of the list on Boardgamegeek. This year, they have some priority filters on there that made my life way easier.
They had priority filters?
Yeah, you could check how interested you were in each game, and then you could filter your searches by that. And so whenever I was going through making this list, boom, 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 interested, gotta have, loved it.
Oh, I did see that. Yes.
Big shout out to Aldi, who really wanted to fix that, and he did. So huge ups on that.
Yeah, great job. Another one of my honorable mentions is basically my childhood further commercialized in the way of Highlander, Brady Bunch, and yes, I think they jumped the shark, Monster Crunch. They made a
based off the
game based off of Count Chocula and Boo Berry.
What?
Yummy Mummy. I don't know, man.
I imagine all those are going to be Target exclusives. And if they're not, I have a lot of questions to ask.
Really?
And then one last honorable mention to Blobbers.
Blobbers.
Not in love with the game, but I love saying it.
Blobbers from Steve Jackson Games. It is a very fun game. Check out my
No,
review.
it looks fun, but the title got me. Blobbers.
Plus, only $7. Just a heads up, we also are going to be drinking one drink with every part of our list. And so for the honorable mentions, we're drinking Old Smoky Tennessee Moonshine.
Oh, yeah. Just in case anybody wants to throw us a sponsorship deal, because, you know,
That's good. Woo. So, here's my two honorable mentions. The first one is Hlusion from Pandasaurus. Now, I wasn't particularly interested in this game, to be honest with you. It's $15, and it's all about colors and how you look at a card, you get to see different portions of colors. But what caught my eye was it was from the same designer as The Mind. Yeah, and I'm very interested to see what he follows up with.
They did a bunch of, because isn't The Game also him?
No, I think it's a different dude.
Oh, is it?
Or lady.
Or Z.
Dude?
But needless to say, I'm less excited about that game, but I'm still very excited about checking it out and seeing what he comes out with next. And wow, that really burns your throat.
It's a little warm. It's a little warm.
My other honorable mention is Thornwatch from Lone Shark Games. We interviewed them last year. This is created by one of the guys who does Penny Arcade. I think it's the guy who draws it. And it is a really out there game. It's a graphic novel adventure game, which has me really intrigued. Lots of moving parts and moving pieces. Looks incredibly fidgety. It smells a lot like an RPG to me, though. Like, I was reading, I was like,
interesting.
What? That sounds like a dungeon master there. So, not quite my cup of tea, but I still would definitely be interested in checking that one out. That is Thornwatch from Lone Shark Games.
Cool.
You, Brandon?
So, should we mention that we did pull this from the BGG list? These are games that were on that list, essentially. So, they may have already been released. They may be coming out at Gen Con. They're just on the BGG list for Gen Con, right? Okay.
Great.
Good deal.
You did all games?
What's that? I did all games this year, which is super
I
weird.
can't tell from the downtown strip club.
Super weird for me. Okay, my first one was Trash Pandas, and the only reason I heard about this was Z Garcia threw it on his list. I think it was Z on the Dice Tower. Yeah, I'm name dropping today. What's up? So the idea of Trash Pandas, it looks like you roll a die and basically sort of a push your luck kind of game. The name looked hilarious. The theme looked great. Yeah, it looked awesome. I didn't grab a publisher. I am a terrible person. Cool.
Truly terrible.
Yeah, really bad. The big score from Van Ryder Games. I like the concept of this one where you're basically rival crime bosses going into a bank and you're trying to pull off a heist. So sort of the first part is, who are you going to hire to do the heist? Then you go do the heist, and at the end you figure out who got the most money. It just sounded like a really cool idea. Competitive 1 to 6 players, 30 to 60 minutes.
Great game. I actually got a chance to demo a whole game of this
Oh,
at
really?
Origins. Very, very cool. The whole beginning of the game is you sending in different people to different jobs. And if you complete the jobs, then you're going to gain the rewards, but you don't know who's going to put what into where. And then the end is actually this press your luck thing where you're reaching your hand into this big bank that's like this
it was a
3D
bag,
structure.
yeah.
Really stinking cool there. Definitely recommend checking that one out.
I don't know what
Spoiler
you
alert,
for,
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin
Kevin
Spacey.
Spacey.
It was.
That's a big
That was-
spoiler
Oh,
right there, bro.
jeez. That movie's so old. It's past the spoiler round.
All right.
What
Oh,
are
yeah, I
you
got 2 more. I have 2
Oh
more.
my gosh.
Oh,
Nice.
come on. How honorable are
Just
these?
real quick, Everdell. Everdell made my list because it's made a lot of lists. It's tableau building, worker placement. You probably already know about it. I really like the art.
Yeah, I
this
did notice that one by the art.
Yeah, this was an almost kicked for me. It was on Kickstarter earlier this year. I decided not to just because I didn't see enough difference. It looked to me like a standard worker placement game. I still want to try it. Still want to check it out. It's getting a lot of positive reviews right now. It just got shipped out or whatever, so it is kind of fresh. And then the last one, that's from Starling Games, 1 to 4 players, 40 to 80 minutes. The last one I have is Black Hole Council from Orange Machine Games. This was kind of interesting, a sort of a negotiating interplanetary kind of thing with hidden agendas. 4 to 8 players and 45 to 60 minutes. I just really like the concept of it. They were at Grand Con last year. I talked to them a little bit about it, got the elevator pitch, and it sounded like something I would be totally interested in.
I didn't see that one on the BGG list. All right, so moving on to number 10. And I'll start it off. We're also going to be having Voodoo Ranger IPA from New Belgium. We're going to be testing that out. You might
Also
pour some of that.
drinking Loot Stout.
My number 10 is Human Era from Lay Waste Game. This is a 4 to 10 player, 30-minute social deduction game. And I'm going to be brutally honest with you here. I looked at this. I like the artwork. I like the theme. But it sounds exactly like Resistance. So I'm hoping to do something different. It is you and your crew are time travelers trying to save the universe, but there's cyborgs on board trying to ruin it. It has bluffing, deduction, and puzzles, which really intrigued me.
What kind of puzzles?
I don't know. $25 at the Lay Waste Games booth, and I love social deduction games, so this one naturally up my alley. So very excited to try that one out.
Cool. How do you want to do this? Do you want to,
I'll go next. My number 10 is Way of the Panda by Cool Mini or Not. It's a worker placement with pandas. It looks a little bit more intense than, say, your Catan. So,
Not a worker
cool
placement.
Cool art. Not a worker placement, but I mean the board, like the pieces,
Okay.
kind of got the same build. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But it's number 10 on my list for a reason. I'm pretty interested in it.
Likes pandas.
That was at Origins, wasn't it? Way of the
It
Panda?
was,
I
yeah.
thought I saw it at Origins.
I wasn't in Origins.
It came out in 2000.
You should have. It came out in 2011.
No,
It's like, this is supposed to be new hotness. New hotness. Number 10 for me is already out, but it's going to get an official launch at Gencon, and that's Founders of Gloomhaven from Cephalofair. For reason one, it has the word Gloomhaven in the title. Come on. If you haven't checked out Gloomhaven yet, it's every bit as good as people say it is. Tile placement, action selection, city building, had a lot of really interesting mechanics. But when this is another one I did not kick simply because of the weight. It looked to me like there was a lot going on.
Very heavy game.
Yeah, it was like you couldn't even lift it off the table. Now, it looked like there was a heck of a lot going on, and it just felt like one that would never make it to the table. It's probably on like a Great Western Trail sort of level for me because there's just so much crap going on in Great Western Trail. It's not something that you just put out and go, let's play Great Western Trail. It doesn't happen. I tell the story that we learned that at Origins, and it took the lady an hour to teach it. Anyway, 1 to 4 players, 90 to 120 minutes. That was another reason it's just a bit long for me. So, Founders of Gloomhaven.
And interestingly enough, you still need to teach me how to play Gloomhaven. I'm
do.
very curious to see if this is actually, deeply entrenched in the Gloomhaven universe, or if he had this other game and he was like, hey, I can make a lot of cash by slapping Gloomhaven on this one.
It's sort of got it. It, from what I understand, it takes place before the events of Gloomhaven. It has the same races. It has the same city, obviously. But like in terms of mechanics, I don't think there's anything because it's a completely different style game. So,
All right, continuing on. Oh, what do we think about the IPA?
I mean,
I don't like IPA. I like it though.
Oh, we're commenting on the beer?
I thought you liked IPAs.
No, I hate IPA.
Oh, well.
Well,
I
mean,
brought it for him, so.
As far as IPAs go, that one's
My
not too
mistake.
strong. A lot of people are turned off by the bitterness. I don't think that one's too bad.
Yeah, that's me. So,
Okay.
continuing on to number 9. Mine is Game Over from Pegasus Spiel. It is a 2 to 3 hour, 7 to 8 player
Whoa.
dinner party style game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard a few of these are coming out.
This was
I
actually
think I'm getting sick. I'm gonna have to go.
this is actually one of my most anticipated of Essen. I was going to pick it up until I realized it was in German, which I don't read. But now they're releasing it in English, and players are people at Essen, and a video blogger has been murdered.
I
He's
did
been
hear
killed,
about
and
this.
players are tasked with figuring out who did it. One of the players is a murderer. Now, the reason why it's number 9 and not higher, because this is pressing all my buttons right here, is because they put in there, the only thing that worries me, solving cases is not the main goal, but having fun is. And I'm not a big fan of having fun. So that's why it's my number 9.
I don't feel like you should have to put that in the rules, right?
And that being said, it also does not have a price as well. So that is from Pegasus Spiel. That is Game Over. Really intriguing. I've been wanting to play a dinner party game for quite some time, and hopefully I'll be able to pick this one out and check it out and invite you guys over for food.
I'd be okay with that. That'd be cool.
I'm not feeling so well, so brain check.
Okay.
Number 9? 9, right?
Yes.
Yes, number 9.
My number 9, it's completely taken by my childhood again.
Oh, Lord.
Guys, you got me. Home Alone. I'm doing Home Alone.
What?
From Big G Creative.
And, well, then let's start by saying it's the same company that you just mocked for jumping the shark with all those
No,
other
I
games.
know, and you got me. I can't help it. There's a few more on here where they got me. They got me. They know it works. That's why they do it.
Oh yeah, there's a huge nostalgia kick right now.
Yeah.
Huge.
So
look at Restoration Games and Fireball Island. I mean, that made $1 billion or something like that.
I think it was actually
It wasn't
$2
$1
billion.
billion. It was $2 million or 3.
I looking at the components of the game, I wish there was more. I do wish there was more to it. It's, I think it's just cards and a few pieces. It's nothing too crazy. Some player cards. I was hoping for like the whole board or maybe, the map that he lays out in the movie.
Yeah.
So it could be better, but the artwork is like Christmas sweater artwork.
Oh,
And so even
that's
the
kinda
layout and the
great.
design, like I really like it. You can be was it Harry and Lloyd, or you can be
my
Kevin. And so you
What if
can
it's gonna
play
be
against each
asymmetrical?
other. So
Different player powers. That would be kind of interesting.
I'm interested in it.
All right.
9.
I'd check it out.
Yeah, I mean, some of these things caught my attention as I went through the list. I missed Home Alone somehow. The list is gigantic. If you look through the entire
It is.
thing,
I think it was like
80 something.
Is it?
pages.
Was it?
5:24.
So, yeah,
520.
we may have missed something. Just I didn't, but these guys might have.
Oh, by the way, our number 9 beer is
Oh,
Angry
Angry
Orchard
Orchard.
Hard Cider. Kind of a basic beer. Hey, still delicious.
Number 9 for me is City of Gears from Gray Fox.
Release the game already. Jesus
It's coming.
Christ.
It's coming. They just put out the
Oh,
white.
it's not for sale at Gen Con.
Oh, it's not.
It's not.
It's
No.
on the list. Maybe it's on the list for
It's
demo.
for demo.
Oh.
I remember being excited about this game 3 years ago.
Really? I
It
was
was-
wondering that. It was listed in BGG
It's not
like
ready.
2015.
It's not ready.
It was a Dice Tower Essential game that was originally released, I believe,
They're
on the
still tweaking
Game
it.
Crafter.
There's still more to
Like
do.
Really?
5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Just release the game
Got to
already.
balance
All right.
things. We got to balance it out.
You're losing the hype.
Gotta get
It was
just right.
It was on Kickstarter. I kicked it. It just looked really interesting. It's got a lot of different components: area control, worker placement, and engine building, which I like all of those things. You can also mess with people, which I like a little bit of take that. 45 minutes. The components looked great. The idea looked cool. This is one I did kickstart, so I'm excited for it. I think it'll be awesome.
I agree. That would have been on my top 10, actually, except that it was demo. And I'm
It
trying
would
to
have been on your top 10 3 years ago?
I think it actually was 3 years ago.
Oh my god. We're gonna have to go check the archives
that out
and
and put it
come
in the
back
comments
and
for us,
see.
please.
Yeah. If you find it, that would be great.
But I think that's all of our number 9. So you just want to snake it around? Do
Number
number 8?
number nine?
Sure, I'll do number 8.
Are we ready for number 8?
I think. We're blazing through with beers. Jeez. Number 8, My Little Scythe. My Little Scythe from
I'm gonna stick with mine.
Stonemaier
I'm gonna stick with mine for
Games.
this one.
This is another one that I believe has already been released. People are already getting it, and I love. Oh, you have it over there. Okay. I love the idea that this came from a print and play that somebody decided to do,
My little ponies.
and then they took it and made it into a real thing. It's basically a family-friendly kid version of Scythe with easier decision making, and you only have to get 4 stars. And I read the description and it said something about it. You can engage in a pie fight. I don't really know what that is. I don't care. It sounded so cool.
My little Scythe.
Yeah. It's like Scythe.
How
with, like,
about you give
animals.
everybody else in the room a little air, Jamie? Huh? Tackling the children's board game.
Don't do
market.
that. It's
Come on.
okay. You do what you do.
Come on,
Jamie.
let them
Stay
breathe,
on it,
Jamie.
baby.
Let them breathe.
1 to 6 players, 45 to 60 minutes. I just love the idea of this. It's probably not for me because I don't have kids, but like to get family friendly stuff into the and Jamie Stigmar can do whatever the dang hell he wants.
My Little Scythe is absolutely fantastic.
Is
It's
it?
my family game of the year.
It
is exceptional, and it feels exactly like Scythe, but a slightly simpler version of Scythe.
I love
That's exactly
that
what I'm personally looking for.
It has gorgeous miniatures. It has
Does
an
it really?
easy-to-learn rule set. It has an easy-to-learn solo version of the game. It is just... It's gorgeous. It's fantastic.
I have been itching for Scythe. We haven't played Scythe in like a year.
And I will say my 5-year-old
It's been too
played
long.
it. My 5-year-old played it, and he loved it as well.
Well, there you
So,
go. Nice.
definitely great choice.
I like it.
My number 8 is Nyctophobia from Pandas Games. Now, I cheated a little bit here. I tried to
we're
keep...
on 8? We're on 8 already?
Yeah, we're on 8.
Oh, come on.
We're on 8. No, we're
Right?
snaking. We're snaking.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
I did 8. He's
Oh,
doing 8.
come on.
You're doing 8.
All right, so my number 8 is Nyctophobia from Pandasaurus. Now, I cheated a little bit here. I tried to put no games that I had played yet, just games that I was excited to try out. So there's a lot of games that are releasing at Gen Con that I've already reviewed or I'm in the process of reviewing. I've tried them, so I tried to keep those off the list. This one was such a different, interesting experience that I had to put it on there. It is for 3 to 5 players, take about 30 to 45 minutes. It's going to be $40. There's going to be 2 different versions of the game, one at Target release and then one a more gamer release with a couple more mechanisms and whatnot. And this is a game where one person is going to be either an axe murderer or a vampire, and they're going to try to kill all the other people in the game. The other people in the game are going to be wearing blackout glasses. Literally,
yes.
you will not be able to see anything. Like, I almost fell asleep playing this game, not because I was bored, but just because it was Origins and I was very, very tired.
Dark.
And what you have to do is you have to move yourself on this board, this 3D board that has 3D terrain, and you're trying to picture the board in your head as you feel it, and other people are describing the board to you. So you're like creating this grid forest in your head as you go. I don't know if it's a good game, but man,
super interesting concept.
It is a
we
super
saw
interesting.
that. We did see it at Origins. I've been seeing a lot about it. It's a really cool concept. I like the idea of it. This is a solid pick.
I definitely
Spoiler
did,
alert.
and I want to play it more to see if it's a great game.
It's Lionel Richie's face.
No.
But very, very cool concept for a game. I want to play it some more to see if it's actually a great game or not. But still, nonetheless, they're really doing some interesting stuff at Pandasaurus Games. So big ups.
really are.
That sounds really
Pandasaurus
cool.
is on it right now.
All right, you're number 8. Oh, by the way, number 8 brought to you by Rockdale Classic.
Brought to you by.
Which apparently
I don't
thought
even
we
know
did
what
not.
this is. I've never heard of this.
Not
It's terrible.
Is
It's
it
Where did you
bad?
buy that?
It's Walmart generic beer. Try some.
Oh, boy.
Rockdale.
Eee.
Okay.
Give it a drink. It's good.
My number 8
I will.
is based mostly off of just the artwork. It's Welcome to the Jungle. It's from Coffee Cake Gaming Incorporated. It's 2 to 4 players. The artwork looked really cool. Looked like maybe a gritty Zootopia type of situation where you're trying to control certain areas as, I guess, a crime boss or various crime bosses. There's gambling involved, all the things that I like in games, but would prefer not to do in real life. So I'll gamble away all the cardboard I can. But
The Monopoly money. Nice.
yeah.
I had not even seen that one on the list, so very, very curious about that one. All right, Snake It again, number 7. Go for it. Gotta finish this Rockdale.
Hit that Rockdale, man. Number 7, again, one of my throwback loves is Judge Dredd Block War. This one is from Games and a Curry.
I think I saw this.
It's for 2 players. It's a duel game, dueling game, I guess you would say, card game. And what struck me, like I'm an art guy, I guess, more than I am about the gameplay almost sometimes. Like it will bridge that gap for me. And this has the old 1980s Judge Dredd look to it from like the 2080 comics, and I just love those old comics. Those used to be like the sneak away comics. Like can't let your parents see you with Judge Dredd comics in your stash. They were pretty violent, pretty out there. So seeing that game, it's my nostalgia button. You hit it.
Yeah.
Like I got a little plastic case over it. You know, like oh it's Ninja Turtles. Oh never again. Like you won't hurt me. You won't hurt me again.
Was Ninja Turtles not that good?
No, the game I think it was pretty good.
I've heard mixed things. There's a couple different versions.
But I mean, you know, like you start throwing Ninja Turtles on everything. You start getting a little calloused. You know, you're like, okay, I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to do. Monster Crunch. I know what you're doing.
I need to look this up.
I know what you're doing. Brady Bunch the game.
Do you really?
Brady Bunch.
I'm gonna look it up right now because I want to know what the hell it is. So
you gotta look
go
it
ahead,
up.
do your 7.
Hey, you know what? While you're at it, look up Brady Bunch the game.
That one I'm not looking up. I'm not looking that up.
My number 7 is Evil High Priest from Peterson Games. This is 49 minutes, 2 to 5 players. It is a fantasy horror worker placement game. By the way, number 7, sponsored by Jose Cuervo Margaritas White Peach Light Margarita, which apparently I'm the only one drinking.
Full disclosure, we are not actually sponsored by any of these people.
Yet. Evil
Your
High...
move, Jose.
All right, Evil High Priest. It is a fantasy horror worker placement game, which about Cthulhu, and right now it's like, okay, so what? Essentially, you're going to be placing your workers, and you're trying to be the evilest person, gathering resources, doing monsters, receiving cultists, summoning monsters, all that sort of stuff. But the catch is, and what really interests me about this game is, apparently each time you play, there's different cultist boards, or cult boards, you'll be able to put into the game, which will give you a different experience each time. And worker placement games, by far, I think are one of the worst games when it comes to variability in the games. I feel like a lot of the times, a lot of worker placement games can get stagnant because most of the time the spots don't change. And I think there's a couple exceptions like Lords of Waterdeep where you can put out different tiles and whatnot. So I would really love to see a worker placement game that was kind of more like a deck building game where each game was slightly different. So I'm hoping that this is able to accomplish that. They also have the expansion releasing as well. That's $50. That is Evil High Priest from Peterson Games. Actually developed by, I believe, a husband-wife combo too, which is always kind of cool.
Kind of.
I have to read this.
Scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it's a 7.5.
Monster Crunch. It's okay to play with your food. Pick your favorite monster cereal character and battle to see who can eat the most cereal. That's the concept.
I can do that without a board game.
Creeping onto your list, isn't it?
It is not even close to my list.
Surprise number 3.
Yeah, I was
Monster
like,
Crunch.
it's just gonna swing right in
Blueberry,
there.
did you see all those characters?
Knock number. I did. It looks like they actually got the art for the. Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah, actually, huh?
All right.
It's
My
definitely that
number
nostalgia.
7. My number 7 is Brewin USA Tap Room Takeover from Adam's Apple Games. So this is a follow-up to their Gencon release of about, I think, 2 years ago that was just called Brewin USA. It hits my buttons on a lot of levels, mostly, I mean, theme. I'm a big beer guy, you could probably tell from, well, this, apparently. They changed it to a dice rolling style game. The idea is to compete to brew beer, stock tap rooms with classic beer styles, and expand your tap room to be able to do more. It just looked interesting to me. I like Adam's Apple Games. I think they do good stuff. So I was something different with this theme pasted on it. I'm all about it. 2 to 5 player, 30-60 minute is that one.
I love that one might make your list. I know you were pretty high on that game.
Yeah.
I liked it too.
Would have made mine, but you already had it. So
well, there you go. There you go. Are we snaking again?
Yeah. Why don't we just snake?
Number 6?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I gotta finish this. Yeah, go for it.
Snake.
Hey, this was your idea, by the way.
We started with 4 beers, and I was like, let's do one for every number, guys. I don't work tomorrow.
Smart. All right. Lost City Rivals from Cosmos. So this is the next in the line of the Lost City sort of games that they've all patched together. There's several of them now. But it has some of the similar mechanics with wagering expeditions, doing different numbers and colors and things like that you have to play on to doing your adventure. I like that it's an auction mechanic and also bidding, which I like. It has 2 to 4 players, so that's cool because the Lost Cities I typically play is only 2 player. A 40-minute playing time. I like the Lost City stuff. I think it's just a super smart, easy, quick to learn game. And if you take some of the same mechanics and paste it onto a new game, you probably already know how to play it. So it'll be easy to jump into.
I wonder if that's related into as well.
I'd
be curious.
don't know.
All right, excellent choice. That was actually on my list, and then I bumped it off because I gotta tell you, I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning. My original list was 24 games. I am super hyped for Gen Con. Last year was only like 15. It was like 14, 15 games. I think there's a lot of excellent games coming out this year. Super excited. So great pick. My number 6, correct?
7.
7. Nope, it's 6.
6?
Nope, we're on 7.
Nope.
7?
We're on 6.
I did Judge
Nope.
Dredd for 7.
Yeah.
I did Brewin USA for 7. Oh, so we're doing... Oh, yeah, we're on 6. I lied.
Cool.
6!
We'll edit that out in
Cheers!
post. We won't edit that out in post.
All right, my number 6 is from Restoration Games, which was mentioned a little bit earlier, and that is Dinosaur Tea Party. This is for 2 to 5 players, 15 to 30 minutes. It is a redoing of a game called Who's It, which I have no clue about that game. I've never played it in my life, but I do know that all of the games I've played for Restoration Games right now, I'm 3 for 3, have been great.
What are the other 2? What have you played?
Everything they've released, which was Downforce.
Downforce was wonderful.
Indulgence, which got a Bowers Best Seal.
Fantastic.
And then Stop Thief.
Stop Thief I haven't played yet.
Which is also a very awesome family weight game. Very, very cool game. But the new game, Dinosaur Tea Party, take turns asking questions or guessing their dinosaur name. That's pretty much the description. It is a pure deduction game, ages 7+, $20.
Kid game.
But here's the thing, it's
For
just the
family.
company. Like Restoration Games, like you were talking about how like the nostalgia's got you and the nostalgia's got me. The nostalgia doesn't have me. Restoration Games has me because they have consistently put out fantastic games, and I have no doubt that Fireball Island's going to be fantastic.
Fireball Island looks fantastic. They're knocking it out of the park. Apparently they're making a big announcement at Gen Con.
I would not be surprised.
But like I'm on the Dark Tower train. I would kill to see that remade.
He would actually,
for legal purposes, I would not actually murder anyone. Internet, it's okay. It's a figure of speech.
So yeah, that is Dinosaur Tea Party. It is one that I'm very excited about just because of the company, and plus ages 7+. I'm sure it will go over like gangbusters in my class. Is this the next one, Green Zebra?
No, that's his. He brought that.
Oh, this is my personal beer, but you're welcome to it.
We finish this margarita.
I didn't even get it on the margarita.
My number 6 I know you know about, because when I went to go look up a little bit more about it, the only video was yours.
Oh yeah!
Whoa!
I got to watch you
Pimpin' Bowers
got
Game
to
Corner.
watch you
Hopefully it's a good
fresh-faced in the morning on your hotel bed talk about what's for dinner.
What? Oh, I
From
heard about
a la
this.
carte games. This one is 2 to 6 players. It's a dice rolling game where you're collecting ingredients to food. Is that right?
Yes.
Trying to build
He's stealing his beer,
I guess
man.
the dish.
Oh,
Trying to build a dish and I guess stay within your dietary restrictions, right? That
Yeah.
about right?
So like you're like a vegan and you have to do
Did
stuff.
you do a line of beer?
I'm very.
You were
confused.
trying to get a whole bunch of food in the middle. It's a very simple set collection game. Like you're trying to get various different things.
Yeah,
but
look pretty simple, pretty quick. But what caught my eye again? The box. It's a freaking hamburger. It's a
Is
hamburger
it
box.
really?
Yeah, it's a hamburger box.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
you're the people
Little
that
things
they are
like-
directly.
Well, I'm okay.
Yeah,
Hold on, hold
that's
on.
great.
Is it like a box or is it actually like weird textured and rounded?
I saw
No,
the
it's
prototype.
like it looks like a takeout box from like Pizza Hut for a personal
Oh,
pan.
okay.
But the whole art on the outside looks like a cheeseburger.
That was Green Zebra from Founders.
No, that was
Wonderful
Green
beer
Zebra
company.
plus Jose Cuervo.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, you did a little mixy over there.
I did not plan on it.
Little 7 and 6.
Well, not on my list.
Or is that
It-
6 and 5?
Nothing but professionalism from Bowers Game Corner.
Well, not on my list. I think that would go over really well with your family.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you.
nice.
I think that's a good choice.
You should play it with him when I'm out of town, like last time.
All right, so that's
Forrest
number
just
6.
shows up at your house and randomly plays board games with your
All right,
kids.
snake it back. Number 5. What are we
This
doing
is
for
the
number
video.
five?
Dodge that
This is
question.
the video.
Number 5.
We're gonna go. We're
Number
gonna do that
5.
on Baka's Depression Corner. That's on my channel. Number 5. I don't always like this, and I've already talked about nostalgia. This isn't necessarily nostalgia because it's a new thing, but when they retool video games for board games,
Okay.
it doesn't always work.
That's true.
So one thing I'm really interested in seeing is how they make SUPERHOT. Have you played SUPERHOT?
Wow, this is really
hot.
stinking good.
Super Hot.
All right, let's pause.
What?
Green Zebra from Founders is freaking fantastic.
Founders might actually.
God.
Like, they might call us.
Dang.
They might
Yeah,
call
they
us.
might
call us.
actually come through for us.
If you like watermelon, they hit you with that watermelon.
yeah, it's
If
like
you do, Founder, send
it's like
KBS.
All right,
Lots of
continuing
it.
on with
anything.
with
I-
number five.
Super hot. So I don't know
If
the
we're
video
getting on
game.
Founders, like I have to drink a beer from Founders I don't like.
That's
Let's
true.
throw that out
Super,
there.
super
So,
hot. Yeah,
if you're
super hot. The
listening.
game.
Super hot.
Anyways.
Video game?
Yes, 5. Super hot.
I don't know any. Go.
Gray Fox game. So super hot. This video
Keep going.
game. It's like a
We will.
first-person shooter, but you shoot and time only moves whenever you move.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you have some control over it. So okay, I need to punch this guy. I need to shoot this guy. Throw my gun at this guy. Move over here. Meanwhile, bullets are slowly coming at you.
Sort of
and
like
da-da-da-da.
bullet time Matrix style.
Kind of. It's a really hard thing to describe. So I'm
You won't
trying.
do it.
So I guess I'm
Look it up
interested
for
in
yourself.
this in how they're going to turn this game into a board game because I think it actually
card
would
game.
lend itself or a card
Let me
game,
clarify.
sorry.
It is a card game.
Card game. I really do think it would lend itself to that format. So I'm interested in it. Nothing to do about the artwork, nothing to do about anything, but the gameplay and just I'm excited to see how they translate that to a card
Interesting.
game.
That does sound
I
interesting.
watched it being demoed, and I chose to not demo it.
Huh.
Seems like it could be infuriating, like the game can be.
Okay.
But yeah, once you
Alright.
pass and it's like super hot, like hooked.
I really hope the demoer said that.
I hope he
lot.
does.
Oh, would you like to try super hot, the COD game?
If you win, I hope
God,
he says that
what-
over and over and over
Arnold.
again until you walk off.
All right,
Fine.
so and this one actually kind of goes a little bit with Restoration Games. This is a company, they put out a game, I want to play it, because they have, I think they're probably 6 for 6 or 7 for 7 for me now.
So I was trying to figure out if I could
Oh, I'll give you a
guess.
hint. Dice Tower.
Nice tower.
Essentials.
Oh. I have no idea.
Arcane Wonders.
okay.
I have yet to play an Arcane Wonders game that I did not think was very good plus. Everything I have played by them has been great to very good to fantastic. Mage War is one of my favorite games of all time. Sheriff of Nottingham.
Very good.
Spoils of Wars. Senshi,
of
which
War
is
is
actually
fun.
coming out. Onitama. Like, they knock everything out of the park. They only pick up great games. So needless to say, I'm very excited for Goodcritters. It's a 30 to 45 minute, age 12 plus. It's the next game in the Dice Towers Essentials line, and I think Tom knows a thing or two about games. It is a bluffing and negotiation game about splitting the loot. So essentially there's going to be one player at the table who is a crime boss, and they are going to be splitting the loot between everyone at the table. But the catch is everyone at the table is going to vote on whether or not they're happy with the cut. And so you're trying to earn the most because you can get voted out. Looks really stinking cool. I mean, actually, you know what? I'll be brutally honest with you. I think it looks good.
Wow.
I don't think it looks great. I don't think it looks like
just
it's
looks
number
good.
5 on my list. But it's Arcane Wonders, so I know
Okay.
it will be great.
That's
like
fair.
that's the kind of branding. That's why I love some companies. Like you talked about Jamie Stegmaier. You play a Jamie Stegmaier game, you know it's probably gonna be great.
Yeah.
Like you don't assume it's gonna be good. You assume this is
I
probably gonna be
would,
great.
Jamie could put out whatever, and I'd be like, "Yep, I want to try it. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I want to try it."
That's why you don't just release crap, because you gain brand loyalty. Brand loyalty. But that's a different video from a different time from a different person who's more sober.
Might be the same video, just a little bit later.
Just later, just
Stick
hang
around.
around, see what happens. Who
So my number
knows?
5, Goodcritters from Arcane Wonders. All one word, oddly enough.
Number 5 is probably the one I'm most excited about, but I put it at number 5. So
Why'd you put it at
figure
number 5
that
then?
one out. I don't know, because whatever. Numbers.
Take
don't
that,
matter.
numbers.
The scores. You're not the boss of me. Number 5,
Dude.
North
Dude.
Star Games. Look, the concept for this game sounds so stupid.
Dude.
But I will
Dude.
play the dude out of it. So, the concept is that you get to say, dude, a lot.
In
And
different ways.
In different ways. It appears, it says, I wrote it down. The word dude appears on each card in one of 6 ways with 6 dude cards. 6 dude, 12 dude, and 12 tiny dude cards. 12 tie-dyed dude cards, which is kind of hard to say.
Dude.
And you're supposed to find matches that go along with the card. Are we good? All right. So it just looks awesome. I didn't. Oh man, I didn't write down a player count or a time on this.
3 to
but
6.
3 to 6 players. Who cares? It'll be a filler game. You break it out in between other stuff, and you just sit around and say "dude" a crap ton to your friends.
That nostalgia button, you just lift that thing.
I mean, I'm a huge Dude, Where's My Car fan. We used to watch it all the freaking time.
That's
what they're going for.
That was such a.
It's a Lebowski reference, by the way.
It is a Lebowski reference as well. I mean, like you could reference a bunch of different.
I
things
did think about that movie though.
The
like,
Lebowski or
dude,
yeah, dude, exactly.
Dude,
There's that whole segment. I saw this and it's got the name Dude Click, and I read the description and went, oh yeah, that's right.
I actually want to say that this was originally on my list, and continuing on with the brand loyalty.
Me too.
This is North Star Games, and I have yet to play a North Star game that I did not like.
This made all three of our original lists, but we so we wouldn't have too much overlap. But that's hilarious.
Another company makes a lot of excellent games. We're moving on to.
Dude, wheat stout. That's stone.
Dude,
this
I want to know why they
stout.
stopped at 6.
Do you want wheat stout?
Yeah.
This was
What
for
is
me.
it?
This
Are you
was-
out?
We can't just sip it.
Here, you want more of this?
A little
bit of both.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
All right. Number 4. I feel like I'm in the middle of. Daddy, I want that. Daddy, don't make me pick this.
2 Christmases.
Sure.
What is this?
That is-
Well,
All right.
to it or it's mine.
Number 4. While he figures
You're not
out
even
whatever the heck
committed.
he's doing. Forbidden Sky game right. You're not gonna be able to
Damn,
unlock my phone.
finger. Give me your finger.
Jeez. Number 4, Forbidden Sky from
Quick, program your
Game Right. So this is next in the Forbidden line, so Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert. It's another cooperative game. What I found really interesting about this, and I don't know exactly how it works, but apparently in the game you're going to wind up constructing a real electrical functioning circuit.
Yes.
Which sounds super interesting. And apparently, like, you'll push a button and, like, a rocket will go off or something. So, it's a 60-minute, 2 to 5 player. If it's in the Forbidden line, we've all played Forbidden Desert and Forbidden Island, and we enjoy those.
You said there's real electricity and a rocket at the end.
Apparently, yes.
My heart is saying yes. My mind is saying, whoa.
I mean, you throw a battery in,
cool
like,
jets.
I mean, I assume you find the pieces, put them all together, and, like, if you do it, you push the button and the rocket goes, whee!
It is the third game. Well, here's the thing. I don't think you realize Forbidden Island sells so hot.
Oh,
Like,
I
that's a
believe it.
Target, Walmart style
Did you
game.
say super?
Super hot.
Right.
Nice call.
Worst throwback.
I like
ever.
it. I approve of throwback humor.
Thank
So.
you.
Yeah, no, Forbidden. I'm just. That's one I definitely want to check out. This made a lot of top 10 lists. I know why. I mean, it makes sense. So, go for number 4 for us.
This was probably in my top 5, but I gave it to him because I had 24 games. I agree. Anything Matt Leacock puts out, I'm immediately intrigued by.
Yeah.
And like I said, really like Forbidden Island and Forbidden Desert. My next, number 4, is sponsored by Southern Comfort Gingerbread Spice, which I actually got on clearance for only $6 at CVS. It was really awkward.
At CVS.
Yeah, because I walked to school that day.
Not sponsored.
And so, yeah, I ended up buying that on my break at
Be
work.
careful. 30 hole proof.
Anywho.
Proof?
My number 4 is Detective, a modern crime board game from Portal Games. This is for 1 to 5 players, taking about 2 to 3 hours to play. And I'm actually just going to read the description, which I don't typically like to do, but there is so much stuff going on in this game. So this, in Detective, a modern crime
hold
board
on,
game,
before
you
you
are
read
going to
this.
solve 5 different cases.
Could you not fit it on your brown paper bag?
You are going to solve 5 different cases and find out what connects them. You are going to break the 4th wall by using every resource you can. You are going to browse the game's dedicated database, simulating agency resources. You will enter a city maze of old mysteries and fresh crime, capitals. And you will be able to cooperate, capitals, with other agents or solve the mystery on your own. Take the job of a real detective in a modern setting in Detective the game. Players take on the role of investigators, solving mysterious crimes while working as an Antarea's National Investigation Agency team members. This board game tells rich stories you will participate in. Let's hope that you will be able to deuce the end before there is another crime. The game will challenge you with 5 different cases that will be played in order. Seemingly, these cases are unconnected. However, they will unveil an immersive meta plot based on fact and fiction alike. Fact and fiction alike, so real-life stuff.
Super.
Detective, a modern crime board game, brings classic card-based puzzle-solving gameplay into the 21st century with the introduction of online elements. You will gain access to the online and tourist database that contains data about suspects, witnesses, and documentation from arrests and trials related to your case. Use every tool at your disposal to solve these crimes. Consult the internet, check the facts, and constantly discover new clues. You are not playing a detective. You are a detective.
That does sound really cool, but not an app. It's like a website.
I have no clue.
I would think.
Count me in. I will be talking to Gnasi about seeing if I can get a review copy of this.
Sounds super interesting.
And I typically don't buy games at conventions unless they're for my kids. This is one that I'm so interested in that I would actually purchase it. It's $50. It sounds just... It is either going to be amazing or god-awful mess, and I'm going to find out, and you're going to find out with...
Seems like a lot of work.
120 to 180. I've seen this pop up on a couple feeds recently because it has a solo variant, so I think like Solo Mode Games might have talked about it, or one of those guys. So yeah, that description makes me interested.
2 to 3 hours a case, but yeah, it sounds super interesting. That is Detective. A modern crime board game. My number 4. It's only getting better from here, people. Better.
My number 4 is Guerrilla Marketing from Roxley.
Good name.
This is 3 to 8. It's a humorous dice rolling party game. Basically about naming stuff. It's about naming stuff. I like coming up with names, nicknames, acronyms, things like that. That's what it is. With gorillas on the cover.
Okay.
You got me.
That's it. Just guerrilla marketing. Nice.
Guerrilla marketing.
I like it.
That is demoing. I was actually kind of interested in that one, but that one's only being demoed, which is a bummer. But yeah, it looks like a cool game.
We'll see.
You want to snake it back for 3?
Actually, I think that was... I think we were on 4. I think
That was
I lied.
4. So
Yeah,
That was
we're
4.
number
So
three.
go around 3. Yeah, okay. Again, pressing that nostalgia button for me.
Lightweight.
Jurassic Park. Danger!
Get on the flow!
It's just Jurassic Park : Danger.
Don't sing anymore, or else this video will get flagged.
It's from Ravensburger Spielberg.
It's pronounced Spilder Leggy. Spilder Leggy.
Anyway, next.
Apologies, Mr. Spilderverlagen. It's for 2 to 5 players. This one, you are making your way around the island. You're trying to escort people out. And one player gets to be the dinosaurs and chase the others around the map.
So it's a 1 versus many, or
that's the way it sounds. I don't know if you can play without somebody being the dinosaurs or not.
Be a pretty boring game.
Well, I mean,
just run around the board.
That may still happen without somebody,
There might be something pre-programmed.
Yeah.
Autonomous.
But yeah, various players. Apparently, each player's kind of got their own thing, and then if they die, you respawn, but as somebody else. So,
okay.
Thought it was pretty cool. It's dinosaurs running around, adventuring, and escaping.
All right.
I want to put a preface on this. I was actually interested in this game. And I will say, I read the introduction and I was like, man, this looks like it could be a hot pile of garbage. But Ravensburger actually puts out some pretty decent family weight games, so I'm actually kind of excited about this one. But it's the kind of thing where if it wasn't a company that I knew, or if it was like a company that was like a Patch or a Pressman or something like that, I'd be like, not so much. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for that one as well.
Actually, I noticed that too. I was like, oh, that sounds like more of a Euro game name from a publisher. I don't know. I know some of the big ones, but I don't know all of them. But I was like, oh, okay. So if there's that weight to it, but it's still Jurassic Park, might still be accessible to somebody like me who doesn't want to sit around at a table for 2 hours.
Right.
Then maybe that's what I need. And also, I just like saying danger.
I mean, that's fair.
All right, and on a side note, my number 3 was brought to you by Southern Comfort Gingerbread Spice. It's been in my fridge for 2 years because, dear God, there's just
2 years.
There's too much gingerbread. There's just too much gingerbread flavor. It just tastes like I'm licking a gingerbread candle.
Does it taste like you shouldn't be drinking it by itself?
I'm not drinking this fast. It says it's supposed to be drinking warm, so
maybe maybe a little bit of eggnog and maybe 10 other people.
You know what? Just snake around to number 3.
We are snaking on 3.
That was a mistake.
Do you want me to do 3? I'll do 3.
Oh no, I'm next. Okay.
We're crumbling quickly, everyone.
My number 3 is actually a game that I was super excited about, and I almost backed it on Kickstarter, but I was just like, I have so many games to review, and I don't back too many things on Kickstarter, technically, normally. Jesus. That is Reckoners from Nauvoo Games.
I heard about this one.
It is 60 to 100 minutes. It's 1 to 6 players. And this is a cooperative game based on a very popular young adult book series. I have not read it, but if I get this game and play it and like it, I probably end up reading it because I love young adult. Because I'm not smart enough to read adults, but I'm not stupid enough to just read kids' books. Take that, R.L. Stein. This is a kinky...
Is that not young adult?
R.L. Stein just downvoted this video.
He unfriended me. It is a King of Tokyo-esque, meaty-looking cooperative puzzle game about humans trying to destroy superhumans. So apparently everybody becomes superhumans, and there's humans trying to kill off the superhumans. And you have to find their weaknesses throughout this game, which is 75 minutes. It's a meaty cooperative game. And there's lots to keep track of. The Dice Tower, Mark Street, I believe it is, Board Game Corner, did a video of this. And by the way, he looks great. Congrats to Mark for losing all that weight. He looks really slim. He actually looks like Malcolm in the Middle, but an older version of him. Somebody put it in the fucking news. Jesus Christ, it's going off the rails. Really
gross.
Cool looking game. $100. Yeah, can I get a simple?
No, you can't have any of this.
It's $100, which is the...
$100?
Now, I don't know if that's like a premium version or something like that, but man, it looks like a really cool game that contrives a nice cooperative game, like a deep cooperative puzzling game with King of Tokyo-esque mechanisms. Really excited about that. My number 3, that is Reckoners from Nauvoo Games.
I like how you say condrines instead of combines. It's like verbally you've switched the D and the B too.
I have 2 kids. I don't get to drink much.
I'm probably going to cheat on my number 3, so deal with it.
Ooh.
So number 3 for me, because I just thought of something, is Terraforming Mars Prelude, because it's Terraforming Mars. It's more. It's more, give me more. It's more cards that you'll do to jumpstart your terraforming process or boost your corporation engine. 5 new corporations, 7 new project cards that thematically fit the early stages of terraforming. It's Terraforming Mars. I'm all on it. That one's gone.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna sort of cheat and throw Trogdor on here because Trogdor.
That's not even related.
I don't care. I'm throwing it on the list. It's kickstarting right now. It is available for demo.
Sorry,
it's available for demo.
Sorry,
so
headphone users.
It will be there. I know. I'm so. Oh, get damn straight. Like you know what? Earlier I said it's not going to get me.
Got you.
Are you kidding me?
I got you.
Well, they mentioned this.
Who's the company? Do they have a company name?
Cheap Ass Games. Cheap Ass Games is doing that,
they
or
might
they're
use
involved
stuff.
somehow.
Strong Bad Games.
That actually gives me a lot more.
Yeah, they actually worked with Real Honest to God Games.
Good for you.
Honestly,
Cheap Ass.
it doesn't
Yeah.
look like much of a game. I don't care. As Eric has said many times, I don't give a rip. Nostalgia, huge core. I was insta-back. I don't care.
You know what's funny?
What?
This is a side note. I probably
Homestar
should have
Runner?
video. Remember our friend
Homestar
Billy Mearns?
Yeah, I do.
He actually made a game based off this.
I have heard that.
And it was actually a decent game, too. It was pretty good.
I've
I
never
bet he's
played
pretty
it, so
pissed.
Billy
He's
sent it to
rolling in
me.
his grave, even though he's not
He's
dead.
not dead.
He's
Are
like
you dead,
24.
Billy?
Well, he's
Call
already
me.
bought it. He's just working it in. You know?
Number 2. I'm gonna be the one that tries to keep this video on the rails. That is
Good
just
for you.
terrifying.
Speaking of which,
Oh,
if you were at
crap.
Gen Con...
I'm sorry, I just swore you to.
All right, I
Sorry.
can edit that out. Speaking
All right.
of which, if you were going to be at Gen Con after hours, we have very little planned. We'll be editing videos. So if you want to hang out, play some games, drink some beer, I will be a lot of the times in the Board Game Geeks hot game room, and I don't remember all the information, so it's down here. Check it out. You'll be able to hang out with the Undead Viking, Scott Alden, the guy the big shebang at
Talk about name dropping. Dang.
Board Game Geek. Be sure to check that out. That's where you want to play the hot new games.
Please, please, please. Weirdos only. Weirder the better. We want them all.
Showers, not required.
Optional.
I'm
Very optional.
gonna do my number 2 because I got another nostalgia button. You're right. You're right.
Which one am I drinking
I
next?
don't know.
None of them. Get
None
your
of them.
own.
Drink your
You brought
Fireball,
10 down
sweetie.
here. What are you doing?
There's 11. Oh my God. It's so-
You're gonna watch this video.
It's so gingerbread-y.
off the rails. Number 2, Choose Your Own Adventure, House of Danger.
Danger.
Holy crap! The box looks like one of the old school Choose Your Own Adventure books. I grew up on these things. I don't really care what the game is. All I really know is it's a narrative adventure game. The player count interests me. It lists 1 to 99 players.
1
to 99. Which
Well,
is a
I mean-
really weird count. I assume it's a socially, like, you probably sit around a table and I don't know.
I would have played
honestly,
it 64
I don't know.
players.
But how are you gonna do that with one?
It's just out. I don't know.
Target exclusive.
Is it a Target exclusive?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's from Z-Man Games, so
It is
good
Z-Man
for them.
Games.
Good for them.
60 minutes. It looked lightweight. It just came out. I'm totally interested. I want to know more. I want to see it. I want to play it. I don't know if it's for my collection, but I want to play it. There. Number 2 for you. That's where you're at.
That was also on my list. That was definitely, I grew up with those, those, and I'm sorry, R.L. Stein.
Yes, I was waiting for you to
Goosebumps,
bring
Choose
it
Your... I'm
back.
going back to you, R.L. I'm sorry.
He did.
I need a Goosebumps game.
I don't know what
Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventures. Those books, I was huge into those. I've actually read some of the Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventures with Sean. He loves those books, so I was very excited about that game as well. And Z-Man Games, it's not nothing to stuff at.
No, it's not.
That's also not expression, is it?
It's. I mean, it can be.
Kind of expression.
Number 2 for you.
My number 2 is a game that I am really stinking excited about, and I'll be brutally honest with you. I don't know if I've ever been this excited about a game from this company, and that is Master of the Galaxy from Ares Game. It's 45 to 120 minutes, and you start as one of 9 races with one system, and then you must dominate the galaxy in this 4X game. So Twilight Imperium 3rd Edition is one of my favorite. It is my favorite game of all time. So I love 4X games. I'm a big fan. Exterminate, exploit, extend,
Explore.
explore, excite. But here's the
Exhibit.
part that really got me.
Exhibit.
X. There's 3 things, and this got me. Just
Okay.
end of the discussion.
Okay.
Bag building.
Ooh,
Yes.
Okay.
I love bag building, and you're talking asymmetrical as soon as you start talking bag building.
Yep.
Card drafting.
Okay.
Love it.
I like
More
drafting.
asymmetrical, and tech tree development.
So wait, 4X, tech tree, bag building, all of these things?
Yes! Oh my
Holy
gosh, I am
crap.
hyped. Like, the more I thought about this game, it started as number 8, and I was like, man,
What's this called
tech
again?
development. This is Master of the Galaxy
Master
from
of the Galaxy.
Ares Games, 45 to
Okay.
120 minutes. I am, God, I hope it's so good. I really hope it's good. It's $50. It will be Ares Games booth. Super excited to check this one out. Definitely hoping to take this one home.
That I'll have to check out.
Master of the Galaxy. I mean, talk about
I
all
do
that,
like
all that
the-
asymmetrical. You start
I-
off, you gotta go.
I do like the tech tree development mechanic, and I don't think enough games use that. I
Yes.
played Rum and Bones at Origins, and it had that, and I thought that was super cool. That was really neat. Very video game style. I dug that.
On to me? Well, my number 2, we could probably play, I don't know, maybe 24 times while they're playing that game.
Probably.
I picked Team Up. Or, I'm sorry, there's an exclamation point.
Team up! Okay. That was sorry.
From Helvetic. This is 1 to 4 player. It's a cooperative abstract puzzle game.
Okay.
No, it was actually originally put out by Comic Sans.
Go on.
It was so bad.
Where you're stacking boxes on a pallet, basically.
Okay.
You're flipping over cards that are going to help you determine, or basically tell you which like shape of block, I guess. Depending on the color, you know which way to face the block up, and you got to try and make it fit in a nice, clean pattern.
So dexterity?
And
No?
I don't think there's any, like, if you knock it over, then you're done or anything like that. You just want to try and make the nicest, cleanest box building up. And the whole point, I guess, is to get points. So you can, maybe you score 11 points. There's a way to kind of reverse it so that you can try and beat your score the next time. And it's all to try and get, I guess, ultimately, I don't know, I think there's like 25 or something max points.
Huh.
If you do a perfect game.
And a short,
It is
and
an
a short one. apparently.
abstract.
Yes, abstract puzzle, I guess you would
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
I can't even think of the word.
I'm
Yeah.
so not surprised for number 1.
Shut your mouth.
So
Shut your
not-
dirty
so
mouth.
So
not
let's team up.
surprised.
I thought it was pretty interesting. It comes with a little tiny little cute palette, you know.
Yeah,
you
that
stack
does
the
sound
boxes
interesting.
up on it, and I just like those abstract strategy games.
Cool.
So,
Cool.
I think that one's a nice, quick, accessible
Number
one.
1. By the way, number
was
2 is
still
brought
talking.
to you by Fireball. Great Pitbull song and a fantastic liqueur.
How did-
Is
how
it
did-
liquor or is liquor? Is there a difference
it's a
between liquor and
liqueur.
liqueur?
There is a difference. Yes.
What is that difference?
Where that's
That's for our other
It's on Bacca's Booze Corner.
Bacca's Booze Corner. Bacca's Booze bookshelf.
Which is not a video channel. It's
Yet.
just a corner of my basement.
that he talks to himself.
Number.
Do you want to do yours?
1.
Do you want to do yours?
I think it's
Oh, really? That was
sneaking,
very Eric
right?
Summoner of you. That's very nice. Is that his name? Summoner?
Dude,
He's a
mine
very nice guy.
Summoner.
We've had
Huh?
some weird conversations.
Okay, I'm gonna do my number one.
Alright.
My number one isn't too crazy unless you're my family, in which case it is awesome! It's Ice Cool 2.
Ah, Ice Cool's great.
Ice Cool 2. If you played Ice Cool, it's fun, it's great, everyone loves it. Ice Cool 2, more of the same thing, but they also incorporate a way to put in Ice Cool 1, so you've got different layouts, you've even got a different game mode with racing. It's not too different, except for all the colors are different, so you can play 8 people now,
Yeah.
which is huge. There have been a lot of contentious partnered games where it's
really?
like, we all want to play, but there's 6 of us, So
This-
now this remedies that. It also lays out different ways you can connect the boards. One I saw, they actually slide between turns.
That was set up in Origins.
That was
You
pretty
could
cool.
move around. I did, and I loved it. I thought it was
So
really cool.
I can't wait not only for that game, how it works with the first game, makes it big, but also like hope people play.
Apparently,
What's that?
that is super
okay?
delicious.
What was that?
That's gonna get a
Go ahead.
Bowers
You alright?
Best Seal.
Oh man, you okay?
Blueberry moonshine.
Ghost
Apparently,
Train.
It's all right.
I 100% agree. This would be my
Ice
number
Cool
1 on my
was
list,
super
but I
fun.
did play at Origins. We shot an impression video of it. The race mode is absolutely fantastic. It's
Super
very
fun.
fast-paced. It's frantic. The sliding board is really stinking
That's
cool.
super cool.
And the best part is that most games that are team games, it just feels slapped on. It sucks. Not with this one. Like, it really is like, all right, you go over here, you try and get this fish, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to try and get this fish, we're going to work our way back because you all have to reach the same spot. Oh my god, I am so excited for everything Brain Games is putting out, and this is no exception. Ice Cool 2, yeah. Excellent choice, would probably be my number 1 if you would not have put it on your list.
there you go.
That's why I'm here, to get the good ones.
All right, so my number 1, I'm once again going to read the description because there's just so much stuff going on. It is from Bezia Games, and that is Ultimate Werewolf Legacy, which, if you know me, Werewolf is in my top 10 games of all time. 8 to 16 players, which is going to make it hard to review, but damn it, I'm going to do it. 13 to 60 minutes, and ages 60 plus, which I have to feel is a typo.
60 plus?
60?
That's probably 6 and
Ultimate
up.
Werewolf
This is a seniors game. A lot of senior jokes. A lot to do with the 1940s and 50s mostly. It's not for us.
Stop making me laugh. Ultimate Werewolf is an interactive game of deduction for 2 teams, villagers and werewolf. Each night the villagers to a player to eliminate, blah, 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 blah. Standard werewolf stuff. But Ultimate Werewolf Legacy used gameplay similar to Ultimate Werewolf, but you no longer have single standalone games, as players and the village itself have attributes that are retained between game, with events that take place in the first game having effects that ripple through remaining games. Make a bad decision early on, and it can haunt the village for years to come, aka games to come. Players can earn titles which provide them with special abilities in future games, regardless of their role. Like that, oh my god,
Okay.
like that you get a special titles even though you're a
So-
villager? No, we're still going. There's
Oh my
still
God, are
a
you
whole
gonna
bunch.
read all of this?
They actually
fascinating
move you.
stuff.
They move you to a small town
Players
in northern Germany.
Players are each given a public family card in addition to their secret role card, and they team up with their other members of their family to work together unless one or more of the family members is secretly working against them. As the village, there are multiple paths that the game may take, and as a result, the experience you have playing through the entire game will differ from game to game. Someone else who is playing with another set of people will have a completely different game than you. This allows players to play through campaigns multiple times. But, and oh my god, there's a small subsection of you that are super excited about this. This game, at the center of Ultimate Werewolf, is an oversized 80-page, blah, 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 blah. Pretty much how it works is you do not have to be the moderator every single game in order for this game to work, which means even if you were the moderator, you will still be able to get into the game and play the game. And oh my god! I have not been as excited about it.
Okay, hold on. I have one question.
I saw this at Origins.
Okay, so
Well,
eight
you need
players,
16 people.
8 to 16.
legacy game.
16 people, you need like a 4-bedroom house.
No,
Well, see, that's what I'm trying
come
to understand.
on, get out of here.
We have 4 people going through Pandemic Legacy Season 2 right now, and it's almost impossible.
Here's
to
the
schedule.
thing, though. And if the people watching this, they will probably tell you in the comments below. When people play Werewolf, if you play Werewolf with a group of friends, you play Werewolf all night long. Lionel Richie throwback. Yes, Lionel Richie style all night long.
Whoa.
Like you start at 9 o'clock, you don't stop until 1 in the morning. You play it over and over and over and over and over and
So
over.
are
and
these
over again.
quick games? Are they quick games?
13 to 60 minutes, yeah. I mean, it depends on the player count.
All
But I
right.
am just absolutely beside myself excited about this. This is one of my top 5 games of all time.
Hard pass.
Getting a legacy game. Shut your dirty whore mouth. You're still going to be invited to the Facebook group of people.
Oh,
who
thank
try
you. I
this.
appreciate that. I'll probably not come.
But yes, that is Ultimate Werewolf Legacy from Bezier Games.
Have we reached
Oh,
peak
please,
legacy?
please make this game. I have not been excited.
That's what
I
I
have
wanna
not
know.
been as excited for a game since King of New York.
King of New York was
New York?
meh.
That was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Meh.
It was really. I still think it's a great game.
Very meh.
It's
Oh,
not
we
as
need
good
a
as
King of Tokyo legacy game.
that. Actually is
That
fit for it.
would be
Oh,
cool.
come on.
I don't know. I think we've reached peak legacy. I feel
No,
like.
Shut your
no.
dirty
Eventually,
mouth.
we're gonna get to a legacy game about making legacy games that a game
And it'll
can
be
be
super meta.
It'll be a
like
dinner
It would
party
have to be the
Blades.
first one. That way, it hits the button.
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
okay,
Gencon.
maybe.
Oh, by the way.
I don't
Boop, boop, boop,
know.
boop.
Ghost Tree Moonshine Blueberry. God, it is terrible.
Well, how old is it?
It's like a year.
Oh, yeah, that's
A
not too bad.
year?
It's not that old.
All right.
These have shelf life.
My number 1 is already. I believe this is another one that's already out. It was. I think it came out at Origins or around that time.
Dominion.
Yep. He ruined
You
it.
guys have to try this.
It's so
It's
good.
so fun.
Holding on, the troubled life of Billy Kerr. This is a co-op game where you're basically playing as members of a nursing staff, and a guy comes in as terminal cancer. The
you say
theme,
canceler?
canceler.
A canceler?
The theme is really interesting to me. It's kind of what got me interested because it does something that not a whole lot of games does, and it deals with like death and really heavy topics. But worker placement, and you're trying to figure out what was going on with this guy while simultaneously trying to heal him. And I guess there's like all kinds of stuff, and it seems like there's a little bit of storytelling aspect to it. Just a really interesting, unique, different concept, and that's why I was interested in it. Worker placement 2 to 4 players, 45 to 60 minutes.
I want to say
Okay.
this also would have been on my list, but it's a demo game.
I believe
It is not out.
It's demoed. Okay, I thought it was being released.
And I want to give you a little fun fact. So what I do is, whenever I meet somebody that I know or that comes up and says, "Hey, I enjoy your videos," I say, whenever I'm at a convention, I say, "Hey, what do I need to check out?" And I do this. I do this a lot. I say, "What do I need to check out?" And I always take mental notes of that. You've heard that. Get the
I follow you all everywhere. I record you. I've never heard you.
whatever. I ask everybody what they need to check out, and
Right.
I heard 4 or 5 different media personalities who said this game is just so incredibly out there,
Board Game Panda likes it.
so incredibly different that I need to check out. And it's actually from a company that really they produced a game called Untold, which is a way that you can use Rory story cubes. They produce incredibly different and unique
Ooh.
games. And so this was actually one that I didn't put on my list because it was on your list, but this would have been in my top 5. No doubt about it. So excellent choice. Very excited to see what this game is.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's our
it.
top 10 most anticipated game, most
We're done?
Gen-Con. Even
I
though
think
technically it's
so.
30, but we all had.
I think we.
You had 2, I had 2,
ran
so 4 honorable mentions. That's 38 games.
bit
So
long.
38 games. Check it out. If you're enjoying this Gen Con coverage, be sure to click on that subscribe button below. Give Minion Games and Tasty Mitchell Games some love. And as always, if you're going to be at Gen Con, come say hi. Come to the Hot Games room. We can hang out. And you can drink out of my dirty bottle of suicide, whatever this stuff
Don't
is.
drink whatever he has.
Or we can. Never mind.
Don't do that.
And as always, thanks for your time.
Oh, what are you doing?
Dude,
Why did
play
you do
new
that?
games.
What is happening? Am I supposed to do it?
That's on Pioneer Days. Seriously.
Pioneer Days?
Dude,
What
you
are
gotta try it.
talking
It's
about?
amazing.
That game?
It is up. It is
Are
like.
we gonna keep all of this, or is
It
this
is
my
my
number
roll?
one.
Are we
It
on
is
my
my
real
roll
number
now?
one.
Well, I'm sponsored by Tasty Bristol Games, so I really should keep it. It's right below Orleans.
Oh, really?
It is.
Oh, does this count as a
Bad.
commercial?
Orleans is on my list to play
Is
again
this a
too.
commercial? We're doing an ad right now?